ACC. They're going to force the offense. They're going to shoot the shot when they get it. You've seen Whittenburg take some very long ones, but expect to see him take them the whole game. He must be a threat so they can look inside to Charles and Bailey.
Sidney Lowe, the most valuable player of the Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament, number 35. He and Whittenburg have played together through high school at DeMatha in Washington, D.C. They're an experienced group, and they missed the 7th straight shot. McQueen, no basket, and will have another Pepperdine foul. So North Carolina State has missed its first 7 shots, trailing 4-0 here. And the personal foul is on Bill Sadler. North Carolina State, in its 11th championship appearance. They were the NCAA champions back in 1974 when they beat UCLA in the semifinals and Marquette in the championship game.
Now, North Carolina State's had the ball for about 2 minutes here. They're 0 for 7, but in the zone, Pepperdine can't control them on the offensive board.
Bailey misses the shot, make it 0 for 8, but the rebound, as you said, North Carolina State, Lorenzo, Charles, and now Lowe misses, and we'll have another Pepperdine foul. So NC State is owning the ball, but they're not just putting it through the hoop.
The Pepperdine people, when the shot goes up, are running right towards the basket. They've got to find somebody to block out. There have been some long rebounds, and they haven't gotten those.
Bill Sadler commits the foul. NC State now 0 for 9. Make it 0 for 10. And picking up the loose ball is Dane Suttle. Watch Suttle, all-time leading scorer for Pepperdine. Out to the playmaker and the top defensive guard, Wilson, and traveling called. So NC State will go on offense again. You talked about how Valvano wants them to shoot. Of course, they played with the 30-second clock and the three-point line in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And that's what NC State used to their advantage during conference play. Not about to change now that there's no clock or three-point arc. Whittenburg goes in, and he's called for the offensive foul. Take that traveling against Whittenburg.
He forced his way between 2 people, knocked somebody down, but they whistled him for the travel before the charge.
4-0, the Waves lead, 16:38 to go in the first half. For 2 teams that were expected to run and gun, off to a slow-paced first half. And there's Dane Suttle averaging nearly 24 points a game.
But Pepperdine's only gotten off to a slow start on the defensive board. They've been very good on the offensive end in the half-court situation.
Lowe going inside. They found that they couldn't hit from outside, and so we have a foul. Victor Anger, his first personal foul. And that is the 4th team foul against Pepperdine. So far, Whittenburg and Bailey, who are accounted for the scoring for North Carolina State, are 0 for 8 from the field, respectively. Total 0 for 8, and so Sidney Lowe is on the line, shooting 2. Pretty good free throw shooter, averaged over 12 points a game.
And, of course, Sidney, once again, with the injury to Whittenburg, not only did he have to do his ball-handling chores and quarterbacking chores, but he proved, and that was the question for it, he proved that he could score. And now they've got him, he can perform both roles now.
Of course, Whittenburg broke a foot in the 10th game of the season against Virginia, missed 14 games. And North Carolina State got off to a 7-1 start, lost 5 of their next 6, had a struggle. Trailing here 6-2 in the first half. Nearly 4 minutes gone by. Dick Stockton and Steve Grody here at Gill Coliseum in Corvallis. Loop it in, and this shot, Orlando Phillips under the hoop, and now North Carolina State comes back. Low to Whittenburg. Looks like they're going to give Whittenburg that outside shot. Thurl Bailey at the free throw line. North Carolina State not only has missed, they haven't come close to most of those shots. That tells the story. Pepperdine 3 for 4, but NC State getting a lot more chances. Dane Suttle misses, and the rebound is in by Orlando Phillips, who is second in the nation in field goal percentage. And you see why, and most of them are layups and dunks, and we saw an example right there.
Well, Jim Herrick will tell you, he doesn't go beyond the block. He'll shoot the little turnaround jumper. He'll put the ball up on the board. He's tough to control inside.
6-point lead for Pepperdine. Muscling his way in is Lowe, and an offensive foul called against Sidney Lowe.
And I would say of all the calls that I very seldom see college officials call is that one right there. When the offensive man and the defensive man are moving together and the offensive man jumps into defender, he initiates the contact. That was the proper call and a good one.
We have not seen the running game yet from either side. Both sides working the ball. North Carolina State in his zone. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the first half.
Boy, oh boy, that's impressive right there.
Dane Suttle from the corner, quick passing. Keep in mind that Jimmy Harrick has that UCLA background, so they know how to pass the ball and handle it. We're live at Gill Coliseum in Corvallis for the West Region first-round battle between North Carolina State and Pepperdine. And there is Lorenzo Charles, who has averaged over 11 points a game in his last 7 contests. He's their inside player, and that's the first basket for the Wolfpack. They're 1 for 12 from the field. Suttle. Wilson misses outside. The other guard, but the Waves maintain possession.
If you expected coming into this game to see a Pepperdine ball club that ran up and down, was undisciplined, they've already disproven that point. They look for the good shot. They get it inside. They're a good passing team.
Orlando Phillips couldn't do it inside. North Carolina State tight defense. Dereck Whittenburg pulls up with the arc shot and throws up another air ball, but Lorenzo Charles is there. The basket counts and a foul. Whittenburg can find the hoop, but North Carolina State stays within 4 despite some horrendous shooting.
Dick, it's not too early for a timeout on Pepperdine's part. They could be, I'm telling you, it's 10-6. They could be up about 6, 8, 10 points if they would rebound. They've got to get a timeout and talk about blocking out. That's a fundamental. You got to do the fundamentals to win in the NCAA tournament.
Lorenzo Charles on the line. The foul was Orlando Phillips, his second. And the 15th foul against Pepperdine. But NC State owning that offensive glass so far in the first half. 10-6, Pepperdine leading NC State.
Now remember, they're in a zone again. After the missed free throw, they're in the zone. This is where they've had trouble getting that defensive board.
Whittenburg is guarded by Mark Wilson, 6'2" junior guard, and Whittenburg finally hits the shot. First basket for Dereck Whittenburg, who averaged over 16 points a game. And it's a 10-8 ball game.
You know what's so interesting, Dick? When you get a guy who's a good shooter and he's off to a bad start, sometimes you don't pressure him. Make him start thinking about it. That time they pressured him and he shot it right in.
Missing inside was Victor Anger, and North Carolina State looking to tie the ball game. They've trailed all the way here. They have hit just 1 basket. And just about 7 minutes gone by in this first half. Whittenburg uses his body inside, misses. Loose ball, the Waves have it. Suttle with a good feed inside. Here's Sadler. Suttle misses again. And Lowe gets the rebound. Keep in mind that Pepperdine is a fine shooting team, 3rd in the nation. So if they're not hitting their shots, that's bad news for Jim Harrick and his Waves.
4 of the 5 starters for NC State shoot under 50%. He says he shouldn't have any trouble with a team that shoots that poor of a percentage.
And 4 of his 5 shoot over 50%.
That's a tough shot.
Whittenburg
Come on.
has thrown up 3 air balls so far, and an error by Mark Wilson as he caught the ball, and it's still North.